Scientists at the University of the West of England are claiming a new world first. They say they can recharge a smartphone using urine.
Don't try it at home. But it's hoped that with a grant from the billionaire Bill Gates, they'll start generating power in some of the poorest areas of the world. Michelle Ruminski reports.
So let's see this amazing technology in action. This is the generator. Up there is the urine. Here's my mobile phone. Plug it in there. Is it going to charge? Wow, there you go. My phone is being charged by urine. Behind this so-called Peepower is Professor Europoulos and his team. So how does it work?
Essentially what we have is urine, which is the fuel for the microorganisms inside these boxes. The urine comes down from this tube into the first box, comes out from that tube to the second box, so it trickles down in sequence, comes out at the bottom to the container, and as it goes through, electricity is generated by the microorganisms. The electricity is then directly used to charge the mobile phone.
After 6 hours on charge, my phone has 3 hours of battery life. The work's so groundbreaking at these labs in Bristol, scientists have just been given a significant sum of money from a foundation set up by the American businessman Bill Gates, the richest man on the planet. The team will use it to make a wastewater treatment unit for developing countries and refugee camps, which can generate power, make fertiliser and kill dangerous bacteria.
My personal hopes is that this becomes ubiquitous to both developing and developed world countries because of the great potential and because of the way that the waste gets cleaned up.
In the next 12 months, trials are being held at refugee camps run by Oxfam.
The hope is that by lighting all the toilets and the area around the toilets, we can decrease kind of violence against women.
Field trials have already taken place at the last 2 Glastonbury festivals, where the same cells were used to power lights in the toilets. The plan now is to take this technology into refugee camps, where there might not be a reliable supply of electricity. But who knows where this technology could actually lead? The future certainly looks golden. Michelle Ruminski, BBC Points West, UE.
Well, believe me, people are taking this very seriously, and as we've been hearing, the Gates Foundation in the States is helping to fund that project. And just before we came on the air, I spoke to Carl Hensman from the Gates Foundation. I used Skype, and I asked him what he thought the potential of this technology was.
So the potential of collecting somebody's urine and knowing that in that urine is about 1 kilowatt an hour of power, and trying to get that power out of the urine. And at the same time, there's phosphorus and nitrogen and potassium in the urine. And what we want to do is that's almost a perfect fertilizer. And you have to deal with it a little bit. You have to treat it a little bit. So the potential to actually take that as a raw product straight from somebody and convert it in a very small box into something that's ultimately usable and in very high demand in developing countries, and you can imagine we could bring that back as well to developing countries, is an outstanding way to approach something.
And your sort of hunch about whether it will work out and be commercially viable?
I absolutely think it will work out and be commercially viable. I believe that you may have had an opportunity to talk to the Bristol team, and they've already demonstrated 1,000 people a day in Glastonbury on one smaller unit. And then we're partnering with our friends in Oxfam to next year, hopefully, or the year after, to look at deploying these units into refugee camps and starting to learn more about the infrastructure that perhaps needs to be around them. But I absolutely have no doubt that this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people that need it.
Great stuff. Nice to have you on the programme. Thanks for joining us from the United States.
Well, it's good to talk to you guys there in Old Blighty.
Thank you.
Old Blighty.
Have a nice day now. That's really very interesting. So if
It's incredible.
If someone says to you now, and I've got to pop out and charge my